Let's talk about Five Nights at Freddy's for once on this, and this time I'm joined by my very best friend and brother, technically, VG Retro.
Hi, I'm VG Retro, and I'm not going to say it.
You don't... no.
Got
would be Nicky. Would be Nicky on this, but I decided, you know what, let's get my other friend on here. I'm going to talk about something that we actually are fans of. Five Nights at Freddy's. Despite what you may or may not think of the franchise, it actually is one of the biggest things on the internet.
Except,
of the past year.
Sorry, it's just the thing is, a lot of people are going to kill me. I'm a huge fan of the lore myself, but I've only actually played the first game, and I haven't finished.
I've played 1, 3, and 3. I own 4, but I have not played it. Brother-in-law Adam played it, and Sarah played it. I just cannot play it. I really can't. I cannot bring myself to play Five Nights 4. Well, anyway, we're going to talk about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, the FNAF movie, and what's it. I basically want to talk about what the actual story could be, but we got the little tidbits from Gil Keelan, the director of the Poltergeist remake and Monster House, and it shows we've got a picture here of what looks like the animatronic eyes and a mouth.
Yeah, I've seen those photographs. It's I remember hearing him saying something along the lines of you know, when he's doing this film, that what he's going to do is he's going to try and make it what I don't remember the words exactly, but he just wants it to be almost entirely animatronic. Like he's going to go animatronic crazy. I think that was what he said.
Yeah, I don't think you can make it entirely animatronic, because there's some things a robot can't do what CG can cover.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, that just because you can do it one way, it doesn't mean you should do it that way entirely. Like, I think one of the best examples I remember was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. The director of the film, Chris Columbus, he went to Steven Spielberg to ask him how best to present the basilisk, the giant snake that's in the film, for those who don't know. He asked, should it be CGI or should it be an animatronic? To which Steven Spielberg said, well, the best combination is, for the best effect, is to combine the two. So, in the close-up shots for when Daniel Radcliffe is interacting with the basilisk, they use an animatronic, yet in long shots it's CGI. So, with that in mind, it's one of those things that Five Nights at Freddy's, with the animatronics and the menace that they possess, especially in the games, that is the best thing to bring them to life for the big screen, especially for the people who've not played the games and are just wanting to go watch a good flick, you know?
Yeah, that's one thing that's actually going to throw off a lot, since when you come to video game movies, not everyone going to know what the hell it's about.
Exactly.
Unless it's a big name like Mario Bros at the time.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, let's not try and go there. But then again, they haven't actually gotten any better with Uwe Ball, Disney's Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, which I think did very well, just wasn't a great movie. And the latest one coming out is another Hitman game called Hitman Agent 47. But as far as the it could go both ways. It can actually, because everyone likes a good mannequin or a figure, just inanimate object being haunted. We had Oculus, which had a haunted mirror, with Annabelle, which is a doll, and Oculus didn't do very well. Annabelle did extremely well. But as far as a Chuck E. Cheese establishment, you could get away with that by not incorporating the game.
Yeah, and another problem as well is I don't know who it was that said it again. Oh god, I was ill prepared for this, wasn't I? There was a university scientist, like a professor, if you will, and he said that one of the
excuse me,
that sounded like a scream, man, especially on this side.
I coughed, okay.
Now, I know we're talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, so there's no reason bringing the jump scares. I'd watch Food Fight with that. Anyway, he said that one of the problems that video game movies have is that what makes a video game special is its interaction between the player and the game he's playing. That a lot of the things that happen within the game are controlled by your actions.
Yeah, that's why certain horror games are much better than movies, because in a movie you're going, don't go in there, you stupid bitch, or whatever, But in the game, you have no choice. It's your own curiosity or the game story driving you. Which is why, like, Silent Hill 2, it has such great atmosphere and storytelling. Oh yeah, it has shit gameplay, don't get me wrong. But the atmosphere and story drives you to continue.
Yeah, and with Five Nights at Freddy's, you know, the whole idea is that it's in the first person for a reason, you know, it's you, right then and there. I mean, okay, the character's named at the end, but you're the one checking the cameras and looking around, and it's you who gets the animatronic in the face at the end. And it's tricky because that is scary, but I've noticed every time I've ever watched a Five Nights at Freddy's animation on YouTube, because there are hundreds of them, the best being the one by that guy, what is it, hotdiggitydemon.com? Whatever it... Yeah, that was the best one, definitely. But the thing is, none of them ever reached the fear factor that Five Nights at Freddy's
I guess a lot of them are more... I think more of them, they're all general parodies, really. It's like,
yeah, they are. But what I'm trying to say is, even when you're watching long plays of people playing Five Nights at Freddy's, particularly Markiplier, like, okay, they're played for laughs because of his screaming, but you're not actually screaming to the same degree as he does, because when you're watching it, it's not something that's happening in the moment, like when you're playing it. It's something that's happened, and you're watching the aftermath. You're watching what he went through. And watching the film of a film adaptation of Five Nights at Freddy's, it's not going to have the same degree of fear, because it's not you in that situation, it's a guy in the film. And
that's why, like I said, a lot of video game movies don't work. But I think with the lore established in the games, or the very well detailed lore, and very, very decrypted, I think more people are interested in that than they are of the actual scare, because honestly, as at this point right now, is what could they do? What could be written for the movie?
Yeah.
That hasn't already been explained or not. It's shown in the game.
Yeah, that's.
I had a couple of ideas. Like, first of all, you had a really good theory, as in the actual monsters or the actual evil in the establishment isn't the animatronics. It isn't strictly the purple guy, even though he did have a full involvement, but your idea was it's the CEOs, the owners.
Yeah, well, it's there is a lot more to it with the people in charge. Okay, some of this is sort of, you know, pushed out there a bit after Five Nights at Freddy's 4 because of the storyline that's in that one. But it is true that whenever you listen to things Phone Guy is saying, especially in the first game where he's saying that, you know, if anything should happen to you, a missing persons report will be filed within 90 days, within which time they'll have cleared out the carpets, got rid of the blood, removed all trace of your existence, so that, you know, it'll just be a missing persons report, not a dead persons report. You're not allowed to do that, realistically. I mean, if I went to work for Burger King and I died there, they wouldn't, like, wait for 90 days to call a missing persons report and then clear up all the blood and whatever it was that, you know, the nature of my death, basically.
Yeah, another thing in my head is, like, if you hear, like, oh, these animatronics move around, they have a tendency to actually notice when a human is without a Fredbear suit, they're gonna get stuffed inside it and possibly killed by them. Why the hell would these people stay for another night? That's one question that gets raised up every single time, especially even with Fazbear's Fright.
Yeah.
With a bit more leeway to it, it's like, why would you? Is that possibly you have a contract and you can't risk being sued by this company?
Yeah, it's
like the owners have you by the fucking balls and tell you contractually you have to spend 5 nights, possibly 7 nights if you're gonna go by that, but 5 nights strictly.
Yeah.
And if you don't, they would sue you, or just do or get a hitman to get rid of you because you have this information.
Yeah, and with that as well, like the very fact that they can get away with these laws, like they're underpaying you, they're not going to report your disappearance until it's too late to look for you. You know, when you think of it that way, and what you just said, you know, they could be controlling these people, it's like, you know, the only people capable of doing that are the higher-ups, the ones in charge.
which could include Phone Guy, since he could be the head security, who's been there possibly since the beginning.
Yeah, but it can't just...
If we go by what the Five Nights 4 and Five Nights 3 audio tapes go by, like, the spring lock suits were still there. Apparently there was an accident at a sister location with multiple failures. Like, two people could have died in the suits, and obviously a kid died, which is not the bite of 87.
Yeah.
Because the bite of 87 victim survived. This kid died.
And not to mention, there's a moment where you click on the TV screen and it has like a TV commercial, Fazbear and Friends or something, and it was 1983.
1983. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, there's always this possibility that the next, this movie is going to involve 87. But I'm just thinking, by this point, imagination has pretty much taken over. The bite of 87 is not really something that can hold a whole movie, because people are just waiting for the bite, which animatronic did it, and then that's it. There's not really a lot there for a film. So I don't believe that that's what the film's about. I believe that... It's
amazing how it actually changes from game to game, because it's like, we got an established law, we all know what's going to happen. By 87, Fox did it. Five Nights 2. Oh, maybe Mangle did it. Five Nights 3 and 4. Possibly one of the Springlock suits did it.
And then, yeah. And, yeah, that is
so
one, yeah.
even though a lot of people would have theorized what could have happened then, we still haven't got a clear idea. But as far as what story they could do, my idea is Mike Schmidt, he comes in, does everything, say he's contractually obligated to work 5 nights or just a week, and when so and so happens, try getting in, jump scares, yada yada yada. He just actually discovers all this news articles in the actual office, in the establishment, about the missing children. Like, people have found in the game when it came out. So he investigates it, and then we go to flashbacks to the 1987 incident, or the purple guy killing the children.
Yeah. And again, even though I still think it's not just Purple Guy, because he's head of security, but there's got to be somebody else up top, because the head of security couldn't get away with the 90-day report shit, so there's got to be somebody else involved. But it's also the behaviour of what happened in, the fourth game, because these guys, 8-Bit Gaming, I think everybody knows about them, they came up with a theory recently, and the theory was that if you look at the colour shading of the different Foxy heads during the minigames, there are 2 different heads in particular that somebody is wearing, and the body shapes are different from one another. So I don't think it's just the brother teasing his, teasing the boy in the game. I think the dad's in on it as well, and...
Maybe, but there's a theory that the purple guy is the kid's father.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because you do see him.
But I would say that because the Foxy head thing is, one of them could be the actual Foxy head from the animatronic, and the other is just basically a party mask.
Yeah, and obviously the dad would be the one involved with the actual mask, because he clearly works there, because we see the purple guy there, and
helping someone with the spring bonnie.
That's right, and he always did say that Foxy was his favourite. Well, the phone guy did anyway. This is, of course, if Phone Guy and Purple Guy are the same person, but, it's highly debatable. It's very likely that it is, but,
Still, I would say it's strongly implied that it could be him, since he has all this knowledge of where the suits are, what to do, and he's been there since the beginning. Could he died at the end of Five Nights 1? That could be, I don't know, a previous, just before Scott Cawthon thought of the whole spring bodysuit, where he gets gets into it and gets trapped in it because of the ghosts.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a recording, so it takes place after the events of Five Nights 1, and it gets confusing.
Yeah, and as well, there's the bit in Five Nights 3 with the purple guy and the the possessed kids, and he gets in the spring bunny suit.
Yeah, that's what I said, but also he dismantles the 4 animatronics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But again, you know, this is a theory on the lore. How is it going to work?
Which is the one thing that everyone wants to see in the film. Never mind the animatronics in real life, which we do know people actually have made.
It is in some ways a blessing that Scott Cawthon is involved with the movie. Because if it was, oh god, what's his name again?
Gil Keane.
Yeah, if it was just him working on the film and Scott Cawthon had nothing to do with it apart from allowing them to make it, it wouldn't work. You know, no way.
Mind you, Gil Keane actually is probably a fan of the games, and he wants to make something of it rather than just like, oh, I got a license. Fuck it. I'm not really a big fan of the original. I just want to make a movie and get paid for it, like the Thunderbirds movie.
Yeah, well, we won't talk about that one. No,
that is a pretty good analogy. Just like, don't do a Thunderbirds movie where it's like, fuck the original creator, fuck the original ideas. Yeah. I got my own version of what this could be.
Yeah, and do you know what happened? They asked Jerry Anderson if he would go to the premiere and tell everyone how great the film was, and they'd offer him $75,000. He turned it down. I'm not surprised.
I'm getting paid to lie through my fucking teeth.
No, he's not. No, that wasn't what he said. I mean, he did say the film was rubbish, but he said that he wasn't going to receive money for something he wasn't involved with in any way. He was professional about it.
I don't trust people to get paid to lie through their teeth, which is why, like last year, the Shadows of Mordor game, there was a contract saying, oh, you had to say positive things about it, no negative, don't show any glitches, do not mention anything of Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, even though it's clearly Middle-earth. It was a shit contract, but anyway.
Yeah, that's why I commend the Fantastic Four guys, because they said that they told the truth. Not the director, though. Yeah. Not the director, fuck him. But anyway, yeah. What I mean is, it is a blessing that Cawthon is on it, because, yeah, Gil Keane, he is a fan. But the point is, there are fans of certain things, and even though they try to make a film, it's based on what they, you know, based on their vision of what they think the lore is like, and not what everyone else might think or other people think. Because I might have an idea of the lore, you might have a completely different idea of the lore. Both of our ideas might be completely different to the one he wants to make. So it's a good thing that Scott Cawthon's there, because Scott Cawthon is the one who knows what it all is in his head. So with him on board, you know, we'll get the true story as it goes along, because that's what we've waited to see. And when the fourth and final game has come out, even though there are updates pending, the point is, we still don't know the full story, and I think it's going to come down to this movie again, you know?
Yeah. But at the end of the day, a lot of people just want to see their favourite animatronics on the big screen.
Yeah, and with the whole animatronic thing that they're trying to do at the moment, it would be cool to see them fully functional and, you know, fully working.
Well, there's one thing I didn't bring up yet, and that is the animatronics are being built by the Jim Henson Company.
What? They are? Bloody
they
hell,
are.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, that is one glimmer of hope for this movie.
Yeah, that is good, but, no, actually, that is really good.
If they can make the Turtles realistic, they can make these animatronics realistic.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. Holy shit.
We're looking forward to the movie that's probably coming out in, what, 2017 or 2016?
I don't think it'll be out next year.
2017.
That is a more realistic estimate. Honestly, though, do you know what I really want to see? Because I've not seen it yet. There's no artwork or photos of it or anything. I would like to see what the full Toy Foxy looked like before it became the Mangle.
Look on Gene might make that.
Oh, they'll be there, will they?